Hi there, friends. I had so much fun watching you plant your vegetable and herb seeds last week during Miss Erica's science lesson. Gardening is such a joy. It's amazing to see God's world and how things grow and develop and change. And so I am very excited, speaking of gardening, to read this book today with you called Up in the Garden, Down in the Dirt. This is a beautiful book written by Kate Messner and illustrated by Christopher Silas Neal. This book has two main characters, a little girl and her Nana. And we get to see them working in their garden. That's the setting. Remember, the setting is a place or time that a story happens. This story happens in the garden throughout the seasons from spring, summer, fall, and winter. And we'll see two themes as we read. What the little girl and Nana see up in the garden and what they see down in the dirt. So we're going to read this story together, and whenever we see this phrase, I want you to sing with me, up in the garden, and then down in the dirt. And then after we finish reading, we're going to make a chart together and see what did the girl and Nana see up in the garden on this side, and what did they see down in the dirt on this side. But first, let's read our story. Up in the garden, down in the dirt. Oh, one quick thing, just doing a little picture walk through our book. We see here a beautiful glossary at the end, some neat tools. First, there's a section called about the animals. And in this section, you'll see a picture of the animals that you find in this story. And it says that the animals you met in this book really do live, eat, and work in many vegetable gardens. Some are helpful, others not so much. So after you read the book, you can look in the back to see a description of each of these animals pictured. So I want us to keep a lookout while we're reading for these animals. There's also on the front and back cover some beautiful illustrations of different flowers and herbs, just like the ones that you planted. All right, let's get started. Up in the garden, down in the dirt. Up in the garden, I stand and plan, my hands full of seeds and my head full of dreams. There's the little girl and her Nana. It looks like it has been winter because there is snow on the ground, but the snow is melting, and what season comes next? Do you remember what comes after winter? Spring! Spring sun shines down to melt the sleepy snow. Wind whistles through last year's plants, and mud sucks at my rain boots. It's not quite time, Nana says. Down in the dirt. Things need to dry out and warm up. What's down there, I ask? What's down there? There's some things we'll put on our chart. Down in the dirt is a whole busy world of earthworms and insects digging and building and stirring up soil. They're already working down in the dirt. Up in the garden, we snap brittle stalks, scoop rustly armfuls, and wheel away weeds for the chickens. While they squabble and scratch, we spread compost over the soil. It looks like they're getting ready to plant. Down in the dirt, pillbugs chew through last year's leaves. I give a gentle poke. They roll up tight and hide in plated suits of armor, roly-poly round. Look, here we see some animals, roly-polies, and do you see an animal hiding in the top of the leaves? There it is. It's a rabbit in the garden. Let's keep reading. Up in the garden, It's time to plant. I trail a furrow with my finger and sprinkle seeds in a careful row. Give them a drink, Nana says. We pat them down to snuggle in the dark. What do you think she means when she says give them a drink? Look, this gives us a clue. She wants to water them. She wants the little girl to water them. Down in the dirt, down in the dirt, a tomato hornworm rests, waiting for wings and the leaves where she'll lay her eggs. Up in the garden, carrot plants sprout, pea blossoms bloom, wasps are on the prowl, and honeybees visit, legs loaded with pollen. There's another one of our vocabulary words. I weed in Wilton, sun so strong, even Nana looks for shade. But down in the dirt, earthworms tunnel deep. I'm jealous of their cool, damp, dark. Up in the garden, rain shower, Nana turns the hose on me. Eee! Wow, that looks like so much fun. I hide behind the cucumber vines, but their leaves can't save me. I shiver and laugh, drenched in Nana's rain. Down in the dirt, water soaks deep. Roots drink it in, and a long-legged spider stilt walks over the streams. There's another animal, the spider. Wow. Up in the garden, there's so much to eat. Ladybugs feast on aphids. Nana crunches green beans. I bite a ripe tomato, warm from the sun. Juice dribbles down my chin. It looks like summer has come. Look, the cool spring has turned into warm weather, and all of the vegetables are growing. Down in the dirt, a robin's beak finds a cricket, a beetle, a grub. Slugs are scrumptious too. Look, there's another animal, the robin. The robin, and what is the robin eating down in the dirt? A cricket, a beetle, a grub, and a slug. So many bugs and insects down in the dirt. Up in the garden, we pick cukes and zucchini, harvesting into the dark. Bats swoop throughout the sunflowers, and I pluck June bugs from the basil until it's time for bed. We planted basil last week. Look at that, how amazing. Down in the dirt, skunks work the night shift. They snuffle and dig and gobble cutworms while I sleep. There's another animal, the skunk. Up in the garden, a praying mantis wakes to hunt mosquitoes. Nana sprays away the aphids, and I'm after grasshoppers, ready to swoosh. But snap! Someone else is faster. Down in the dirt, a smooth, shining garter snake crunches on supper. There's another animal, the snake, down in the dirt. Up in the garden, the wind grows cool. Pumpkins blush orange and sunflowers bow to September. So now fall has come. Nana ties them together to build a house for reading. Down in the dirt, an orb weaver spins her web, strand by silken strand. She'll munch on moths tonight. Look, more animals. Up in the garden, colored leaves litter the squash vines, and we know the cold is coming. Hurry, hurry, and harvest. There's enough for the neighbors too. Down in the dirt, frantic ants gather what we leave behind. They're storing food for cooler days ahead. So now the fall is turning to, you guessed it, winter. Up in the garden, frost days lace on leftover leaves where secret egg sacs hang, waiting for the warm to return. We say goodbye and spread the winter blankets. Down in the dirt, beetles burrow, ants scurry home, earthworms curl tight in the dark. When Grandpa calls us in for soup, an autumn moon is rising. Up in the garden, dry cornstalks tremble, and the wind smells like winter. But the long, ripe days of summer still rest in the guarded beds. The ladybugs and bumblebees, earthworms and ants are hunkered down hiding, biding their time, dreaming of sunshine and blossoms and sprouts. Under the bare arms of trees and the blanketing snow, a whole new garden sleeps down in the dirt. Wow, friends, that is such a beautiful story. And in our next lesson, we will sort out on our chart what happens up in the garden and down in the dirt. And we'll answer some questions about our story. Can't wait to see you then. Bye-bye.